welcome to Spectrum News. I'm Rachel David White, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu swears in 8 new perm secs, presides over Federal Executive Council meeting. Federal government plans full autonomy for varsities. Plus Biden calls for extension of Israel-Hamas truce. We'll bring you details of the stories and many more in a moment. First, in the news this afternoon, President Bola Tinubu today swore in 8 new permanent secretaries recently appointed. The development followed their success in the federal civil service selection process. The swearing-in ceremony preceded the commencement of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting at the Council Chambers of the State House, Abuja, today. The new permanent secretaries are Ndakayo Aishetu Gogo, Bako Deborah Odo, Omachi Raymond Omenka, Ahmed Denuma Omar, Wati Tenuke, Adeoye Adeleye Ayodeji, Remi Nuraba, and Ella Nicholas Agbo. Away from that, President Bola Tinubu has indicated that the federal government is considering reintroducing the policy of university full autonomy to promote progress and minimize external impediments. The decision is consistent with the government's belief that university autonomy allows institutions to develop in their own pace. Tinubu expressed confidence in the proposed strategy while speaking through the Minister of Niger Delta Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, during the University of Benin's 48th convocation event over the weekend. In his speech, the president highlighted university employees' concerns about unpaid salaries. He announced a 4-month wage payment for all university employees to ameliorate the problems. Meanwhile, the federal government, through the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, has addressed the challenges resolving around supply and pricing of liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) in the domestic market. The intervention on cooking gas followed a rise in recent months in the price of kilograms of LPG from about 700 naira to above 900 in some parts of the country. In a statement by his spokesman Louis Ziba, the minister expressed concerns of President Bola Tinubu on the astronomical increase and attendant hardship on the citizenry. ECOWA, highlighting Nigeria's abundant gas reserves, expressed his approval of multinational firms prioritizing gas exports over allocating significant volumes for the domestic market. Deeming it unacceptable, consequently, he established a committee to provide recommendations within the week on how to enhance supplies and reduce pricing. In the meantime, the federal government has warned farmers against selling or diversion of 2023 dry season farming inputs. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, met the call at the official flag-off of the 2023 dry season wheat development season under the National Agricultural Growth Scheme (NAGSAP) in Jigawa State. Kyari said the dry season farming is an integral part of the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pockets NAGSAP project made possible by a $134 million loan facility advanced to Nigeria by the African Development Bank (AFDB). The minister added that the present administration resolved to expand the capacity of farmers to engage them in the cultivation of key staples like rice, maize, cassava, and wheat across the country. He urged farmers to utilize their support to achieve the target's objective. From the Red Chambers, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio has assured citizens of Cross River and Akwa Ibom states that priority has been given in the nation's 2024 budget to address precarious road infrastructure in the two sister states. Akpabio gave the assurance while speaking with journalists at Margaret Igbo International Airport, Calabar, upon his arrival for the Thanksgiving service of Senator Asukwa Ikpenyong of Cross River Southern Senatorial District on the harrowing experiences by motorists on the Calabar to Federal Highway. The former governor of Akwa Ibom State said Nigeria's 2024 budget reflects the intention of the Senate under him to touch the lives of Cross River Akwa Ibom citizens. The Senate President was received by a state government delegation led by the Deputy Governor Peter Ode, Senator Asukwa Ikpenyong, Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Albert Ayambem, and members of the State Executive Council, among others. And now to the Green Chambers, where a one-day retreat for chairpersons and deputy chairpersons of House of Representatives committees is billed to be held in Abuja today, centered on the 10th House of Representatives legislative agenda. The retreat is expected to dwell on the theme improving legislative performance through effective committee management. The House spokesperson, Akin Rotimi, in a statement noted that lawmakers would be taken through international good practice and committee management benchmarks in conducting legislative hearings and investigations, as well as an overview of legislative practice and procedures, among others. In a separate development, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo has summoned heads of aviation agencies in the country over recurring safety issues in the industry. According to a statement by Ministry, Keyamo will meet the aviation agencies' bosses today in Abuja. The agencies include the Nigeria Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, the Nigeria Safety Investigation Bureau, NSIB, and the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA. In politics, ahead of the Edo State 2024 governorship election, the Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu has made a formal announcement expressing his desire to compete for the People's Democratic Party (PDP) ticket in the forthcoming party primaries. Shuaibu made this declaration known in a televised announcement today. The Deputy Governor, who has been in office since 2016, said he would run for the office of a number one in the state of the platform, of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). After his official declaration, the 53-year-old politician launched his campaign office in Benin City, noting that he has put his life on the line for the development and growth of the state, and he was determined to make the South-South state great again. In another development, universities in Nigeria are facing a severe staff crisis as hundreds of teachers leave to seek greener pastures in foreign countries, despite a higher number of retirements at universities. In separate interviews with newsmen, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU chapters corroborated this, saying the scarcity was caused by a surge in lecturers leaving Nigeria and concerns about the integrated personnel and payroll information system. ASU at Usmanu Danfodio University in Sokoto said about 100 teachers had departed, while the union at the Federal University of Gusau in Zamfara said the institution needed about 1,000 academics to cover the gaps left by those who had left. Now to Africa, where Sierra Leone has lifted an indefinite nationwide curfew imposed yesterday after armed men attacked a military barrack and prisons in Freetown. The Sierra Leone government said a new night curfew will begin from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. local time every day until further notice. The country's President Julius Bayo, while addressing his nation, said most of the leaders of yesterday's unrest have been arrested and will be held accountable. Bio described the event as an attack on democracy, adding that calmness has been restored in Freetown. In Africa, Niger has reportedly started running its biggest solar power plant, filling in the shortage brought about a cut in imported power supply from neighboring Nigeria in July. The Energy Minister Mustafa Barake said that quality of electricity supply had improved in the capital and other towns following the coming online of the solar plant. Barake noted that the plant has over 55,000 solar panels and can generate 13 megawatts of electricity. On a foreign scene, snowstorms and strong winds have left more than 2,000 towns and villages without power across many regions of Ukraine. They said 48 people, including children, have been evacuated from trapped vehicles in the worst affected Odessa region in the southwest. At least 6 people have suffered from hypothermia. Traffic is currently blocked on 14 motorways. The storm is also battering Moldova, Russia, Georgia, and Bulgaria. In a statement today, Ukraine's emergency service said the bad weather left 2,019 settlements without power in 16 regions of the country. It said 840 vehicles had to be towed away amid snow drift, reaching more than 2 meters in some places. On a foreign scene, the truce between Israel and Hamas entered its final 24 hours today, with signs the militant group was willing to extend the pause after it freed more hostages, including a 4-year-old girl orphaned by its attack. Tearful reunions of families and hostages released in exchange for dozens of Palestinian prisoners have brought the first relief in the 7-week war. Recall that militant group Hamas raided Israel on October 7th in the worst attack in the country's history, prompting devastating Israeli bombardment of the Gaza Strip. As the latest group of Israeli women and children walked free late Sunday, attention turned to calls for a truce to be extended before its scheduled end at 7 a.m. on Tuesday. Still to come in the news, NPFL promises to sanction erring referees. Stay with us. Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. Over now to our business news. On our business news, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Delelake, has raised the decision of investors from the Republic of Mexico to visit Nigeria in search of investment in solid minerals. In a statement signed by the Special Assistant to the Minister on Media, Segun Tamari, Alake said the administration of President Bola Tinubu puts in place incentives to ease business for investors in the industry. He said the incentives include zero duty on equipment imported for solid minerals, extraction, easy movement of profit to the countries of origin, and tax holidays. The minister added that investors in the mining industry are expected to sign a community development agreement with the communities in the mining area to ensure the socio-economic development of the region that benefits the people. Still in business, data from the National Pension Commission has revealed that pension fund administrators have invested 130.18 billion naira funds under the Contributory Pension Scheme (CPS) in infrastructure as of the end of September 2023. According to the figures, total assets under the CPS stood at 17.35 trillion naira as of the period under review. Part of the funds was also invested in domestic and foreign ordinary shares, federal and state government securities, and money markets instrument, among others. The Commission had, in its amended investment regulation, highlighted the requirement for investing the funds in line with the provisions of the Pension Reform Act 2014. It said the purpose of the regulation was to provide uniform rules and standards for the investment of pension funds assets. In health, skin experts have asked persons living with vitiligo not to allow stigma to make them fall into depression. The physicians expressed worry that the level of stigma associated with the skin condition was still high in the country, which they blamed on ignorance. Advising them to ignore stigma, the dermatologist noted that vitiligo is neither infectious nor hereditary. According to them, persons with vitiligo must know that acquiring the skin condition is not fault of theirs, assuring them that they are perfectly normal except for the color change in their skin. Vitiligo, they say, is an acquired condition of the skin with reduced or absent coloration and pigmentation, leaving areas of white patches compared to other areas of the body. Still in health, Kwara State Government has expressed its readiness to collaborate with any donor agency to eradicate open defecation in the state. The State Commissioner for Water Resources, Yunusa Alade, gave assurance when the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund WASH specialist Teresa Palmer visited his office in Ilorin, the state capital. The commissioner said the state government had set aside 200 million naira to provide toilets and other utilities that will discourage open defecation. He added that lawmakers both at the state and federal levels have been engaged in a need to complement the efforts of the state government to eradicate open defecation. And now to sports, where the president of the Nigeria Referees Association, Sani Zuba, has reiterated the body's commitment to ensure that referees performing below par were flushed out of the country's domestic leagues. Zabata said this news many legs against the backdrop of incessant cases of poor officiating by match officials. Reports say the 2023 and 24 Nigeria Premier Football League season is 10 weeks old, but with deafening complaint over poor officiating. Still in sport, Jude Bellingham scored his 13th goal of the season as Real Madrid returned to the top of La Liga with a 3-0 victory at lowly Cadiz. Real went into the game 2 points behind Girona and took an early head lead through Brazil forward Rodrigo. The 22-year-old then doubled Real's lead midway through the second half. It was Bellingham's 11th goal from 12 La Liga games since joining Real from Borussia Dortmund in the summer. On our entertainment news, legendary American rapper Busta Rhymes has released his recent collaboration with Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Burna Boy. Reports say Burna Boy features in a track entitled Robert Shutter of Busta Rhymes' latest album. Blockbuster is speaking. In a recent interview with Newsman, the hip-hop legend said working with Burna Boy was one of the most incredible experiences he had in his life. He said because he is fast, efficient, and very clear. On how the collaboration came to be, Busta Rhymes said he played out 5 songs for Burna Boy, and he chose to jump on Robert Shutter, which was produced by American legend Pharrell Williams. Still on entertainment, the 2023 Booker Prize has been awarded to Prophet Song's dystopian vision of Ireland in the grips of totalitarianism. The novel was written by Ireland's Paul Lynch, age 46, marking the first time he has won the prestigious fiction writing prize. Set in Dublin, the novel tells the story of a family grappling with a terrifying new world in which the democratic norms they are used to begin to disappear. Lynch said Prophet Song was inspired by the Syrian war and refugee crisis. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Rachel David White. Good afternoon.